Hello everyone, welcome back to Napoleon Total War. Oh yes, fun and games a la Napoleon style. And for those of you who are wondering, thanks to some hard work by Sega, they have gone after those people that have been making spurious claims on the music in Napoleon Total War and Empire Total War. And basically Sega went over there with their lawyers and a large stick and battered the snot out of them. So my thanks to, obviously, Mal for pushing that forward, and also, obviously, to Creative Assembly and Sega for getting that sorted out, as that is one less thing to worry about. And we can enjoy the music in this game again. It's glorious, and it's so evocative, and it just sets the tone beautifully. Anyway, let's get back to the campaign. Now, you can see here that obviously we have Greece and we're starting to make inroads and sort of pushes down towards this general direction. Our concern is these guys. Now, that's the Spanish Navy. Now, granted, that is a trade post, but what we need to do is we need to secure these areas here for our trading off of the bottom of Athens there. So what we're doing is we are creating some kick-ass ships, 86 gun ships of the line, and what we're going to also do is these ships that we are creating here, these smaller frigates, we are going to send over and they are going to assist. So it'll be 5 pretty kick-ass ships. Now, what we can also then do is, for those of you who are not aware, that is being turned into a commercial port, and that's where we'll be able to build our trade ships and then start increasing the trade. Now, obviously, what we will need to do is kind of push down through the Mediterranean, get these trade areas here, deal with the Spanish Navy, more trade areas along here, and what we ideally would like to do is maybe sort of take things like this island, and also maybe that might be a good place to start our attack in Spain, so we can deny them that area, and then we can essentially take Gibraltar and form a blockade there. So in other words, if they want to get past us, they've got to do that, and then we can turn that into a nice big military harbour and just keep adding to those ships. So that'll be a good thing. Now, obviously, you can see here's the trade route, and we can use that for a little bit of plundering. Especially, I mean, you know, the Kingdom of Spain only has 962. The Russian Empire, us, we're not really doing a lot of trading, but that's hopefully going to change over the course of time. Also, we're looking to get some spies down into that sort of area, down here in Espanyol, and see what they can sniffer out. Now, obviously, Barcelona would be an interesting spot to attack. They've got another port down here, but that's a trading port. You can see there's the trading things there. Oh, that's a good spot to actually send our navy down and plunder that and steal money off Spain. But I think maybe Barcelona might be a good option because it's close here. We could then conceivably take that, and that. But I don't know, you see, the thing is, I'm more inclined to sort of go down towards Gibraltar. You can't miss it. There's a big rock outside the bastard. And take this area and then literally take Spain from the bottom up so that we're moving our forces that way towards the enemy. Rather than go in the middle here where we could be under attack from 2 enemies from 2 directions. I'm not sure militarily that will be a good idea, but we'll have to wait and see how things turn out. At the moment, really, what I've got to do is try and build up that navy, because the navy is going to be key to us holding the Mediterranean and blockading the entrance to the Mediterranean. So what we're probably going to do... Oh, listen to that music. Oh, I've missed this music so much. In fact, I've played a campaign on my own just to literally have the music on and not have to worry about it. So hopefully, you know, we won't have any problems with this particular episode. So otherwise I'll have to record it all over again, which would be somewhat annoying. So that is the Sevastopol dockyard, and it's currently military Mary, and down here, the other side of Greece, this is where the trade is here. So, and we're turning that into a commercial port so we can make use of a lot more trade routes and things of that gubbins And there's obviously trade over here as well. So we really need to start building more of those trade ships. I did think about maybe changing this to be a trading port. Now, the advantage of that means that it would go to there, these guys would go to there, it would be quicker, would have a secure area. I'm still thinking about doing that. So, what we're going to have to do, obviously, we're going to have to end the turn. It will take 4 turns, because I think I may have made a mistake by making that a dry dock. But what we will do is that navy there is continuing to be built. Now, the thing is, you can see we've got 2 more turns, so we can't really do anything to that for at least 2 turns, so we'll leave that there. So that'll come down with, essentially, 3 32-gun frigates, and obviously these guys down here, who are going to be our 86-gun ship of the lines. Now, obviously, these are absolute beasts when it comes to ships and things of that nature. I mean, look at it. Just absolutely beastly when it comes to firepower. So what we will also need to do is put in a little bit of different ships in there. Maybe something like that. Not so many guns, but still ship of the line. And it means that what we can do is give our navy a little bit of, I don't know, verisimilitude, if I think is the word we're looking for. You know, a little bit of variety. So, now, these guys down here do not even have a magistrate. They have an army encampment. So, we might be able to put a magistrate in there. And that will obviously increase repression. It will allow us to do some research and other bits and pieces like that. So, you know, what we really need... See, we need that there, which is 7 turns. And then, obviously, build the trade ships, get them down to here. Bring the navy down from here after the 4 turns that's required in order to build these buggers. And now, if we turn that into a steam dry dock, oh goodness, that's a lot of money. But you can get things like that, sloops, brigs, 74-gun ship of the line, 38-gun frigates, 32-gun frigates. What's that? 64-gun ship of the lines. So you can actually build a lot more. See, look. Enables recruitment and replenishment of carronades, bomb catches, 80-gun steamship. Oh, baby. That would be nice. Ironclad. Oh, that would be a very nice thing. And the paddle steam paddle frigates. So, that could be interesting. Ironclad would be beautiful. So, that's the kind of direction we're going at the moment. We really need to essentially know that this area here, which is being dealt with by the Austrians, we will need to deal with the Austrians at some point, but at the moment, we need to focus on the people that we are at war with, which is obviously French and Spain. We are at war with the Kingdom of Italy and the Batavian Republic, or Batavian, I think their name is, but they're literally just on the corner over there. So they're literally just on the Netherlands area here. So to be honest, I'm not really worried about them right now. Really, it's the French and the Spanish that I am concerned about. So we'll bring the troops, the ships down here. That'll give us like, oh god, multiple trading areas for the ships of the line. And then, see, look at all these trading areas. So we may have to put a force here, and then maybe another force up here to intercept any attempts by the British Navy or the Spanish Navy to attack. Now, the way we can prevent that is by essentially denying any abilities for these guys, the Spaniards, to put any kind of ships in the water. So we can try and sort of deal with places like Catalonia and Madrid, which I think is there, but they do have another, yeah. So these are the things that we need to try and do, and then what we can do is we can essentially form a monopoly of the trading areas around the base of Spain and the top of Africa. And that enables us to be in a very, very strong position. And not only that, the increased trade will enable us to finance our navy in a lot more serious way, and also start to increase armies that are available to us as well. Now, let's have a look at our armies. So, we've got these guys in Little Tatari. Only a little holding force. This is one of our main recruitment areas. We've got these guys outside, whose job it is basically to just guard that area. We've got Fyodorich over here. Another kind of placeholder, just to keep the centre part of our territory safe. We have this gentleman over here, who is down in Greece, recently took Greece for us. And so there we go, that's the Count von Bennigsen. And here is, of course, Mikhail Kutuzov, who took Istanbul for us. So he's going to have some more troops added in there. May even add some more horse artillery, because they're a bit low on arty there. And that might be a good idea to do that. Now you've got Oleg Stefanshin over here, another just placeholder, just to keep an eye on what's going on there. And you've got these guys over in Mitau as well. And of course you've got these guys down here in Moscow, who are just sitting there just to give us a little bit of sort of visibility around that area. Now you can see that we've only got 2 fleets. We've got that fleet there, and we've got this little fleet here of tradie ships. So we want to get more into there. That's 20 furs. And then essentially come down to here. Now, that means then that the Greeks here, they're going to have to sail quite a way. But I do think that that will need to be turned into a trade port. I really do. That will need to be a trade port, because we need that merchantmen a lot more in this area, because then we can blockade off these areas. If for whatever reason we start getting pushed back, we can blockade these areas a lot easier into the heart of the Black Sea, and at least still have tradability for us, and some still trade points here as well. So I think that's probably going to be the way to go. Now, let's see. See there, Belgrade. Okay. Now, are these guys pushing closer to Italy? Here are the Austrians. You can see they've taken Munich in Bavaria. And I think the Austrians are holding them. You've got these guys up here. They're maybe starting to push back against the Prussians. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, what we're going to do is just get an idea of how much. So we get 6,000 for the next turn. So we're going to end the turn now. We're going to get this guy to walk a little bit faster, because he's going to freeze his poor little nuts off. We don't want those intellectual nuts frozen at the wrong moment. Aha, see, look. The French Navy, another thing to consider. See? Straight down through that area. Now, those could be smaller numbers of ships, but you can see they are doing kind of the thing. And look, they're just harassing England, pretty much, which is fine. If they just want to get into a stand-up fight with England, then it could be that England could end up taking them out because they've got a better navy, or at least we're allied with England, so they will help us out in many regards. Yeah, a bit strange that you could, like Mal said, that you can get an army who can go in there and kick a big ship out of a port. Not sure how that would work exactly. Do they go and drain the port, and then sort of like put a big wave so it washes them out? Don't know. But here comes the Spanish Navy. Aha. Here comes some Ottomans. Now, look at that. An enemy raid in Midran. So that's these guys, and that's the college. So we don't have anybody in there at the moment, so we're not worried so much about that one. Oh, look at this. The Grand Duchy of Oldenburg. Good. Look at that. Fantastic. So less for us to worry about, and the Swiss Confederation has re-arisen, and we're at peace with them. So we'll have to see what happens now. There's our money, 5-2. Right, let's go. First things first, over to here, straight away, change that around, and turn it into a trading port. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get these guys here. There we go, 32 gun frigate. And leave them all there, except we're going to take this navy here, and we're going to sail them down to our primary military base below Istanbul. I nearly said Aston Villa there for a second, so I'm not sure what that was about. Right, so this is the bit where we go for the verisimilitude. Let's put one in there like that. And... oh, this music. Let's see. Let's put a 38 gun frigate in there as well. So, at least then we're building up a serious force, which is essentially what we're after. Now, let's just go into here, because on the recruitment, if you remember, we want to get some clippity-clops in there. Sorry, some horsey artillery, because we're a bit low on the arty. So let's do a recruitment and go for the horses. Now, the reason I'm doing that is basically, even though they've got smaller caliber in compared to these, you know, so the £9 and all the rest of it, they have the benefit of maneuverability. So we can essentially move them really quickly to a completely different location. They can set up, they can get underway very, very quickly. So that's the main reason we're doing that. We also need to look at road construction as well. So if we just have a sniff around, see, it looks like we could... oh, wow, that's way the balls over there. Not really much of an issue. You can see here that they're pretty much all okay-ish roads. Let's turn Athens and upgrade them. So they're all pretty much sort of non-cobbled roads. They're all this basic roads. So what we may need to do is consider having a run of improvement of roads across our entire territory to speed up any kind of movement that our guys will need to do to get through our territory. Because let's face it, we got big ass territory, and we need to obviously get the guys in the various spots as quickly as we can. Now, can we? Yes, we can, you beauty. Can't get any more of those. That's disappointing. If we go to here, just stop that one like that. Move back to here. Can we recruit? Yes, we can. So they'll come out here, and we'll send them. Let's see. We'll send one down to here, and we'll send. In fact, what we'll do is let's get these guys just to have a sniff around. We want to make sure that there's no other navies in this area. So obviously all we're doing is just a little scouting party to send those guys over to find out what's going on. When that's improved, then we can move these guys down to sort of this area here and start to get more things in place. So that's good that we can recruit those really early on, maybe get them down to here and here. That will increase our finances coming into the empire, which is exactly what we're after. Plus we're building that, which means essentially more trade routes can go into that particular one. Now, bear in mind obviously that we will need to start maneuvering armies around and getting them down to deal with the problem of Spain, essentially. So this army here, how are they doing on numbers? See, they're doing pretty good. I am very tempted to send them over to here to deal with this guy. Now, the reason for that is because I could leave open Istanbul, and that would be a concern. What I might do is just leave one unit behind. Actually, I'll take them. I'll leave a unit of horse behind. Let's leave both the horse behind, and then take this entire army and go up and twat them. Now they've retreated immediately, so they obviously recognise us as a superior army. Where's this guy going? So he's going in that general direction. So he'll be going over to Spain to sniff around that area, which is good. We, on the other hand, are going to finish the job. Here we go. 5,000 against 1,648 plus a 9-pounder artillery. But we have the 2-horse artillery, and now it's time for Kutuzov to do his duty. So, essentially, this is one of the rebellions, the rebellious Ottomans from that we've killed previously, and we're just going to have to kill them all again. Now, one thing you'll probably notice is that this episode is actually shorter than most of the other episodes. There is a reason for that. There will be a video coming out explaining the wheres and the wherefores, and oh goodness, that's a beautiful hill for artillery. The only drawback is the trees, but to be honest, I think it's too nice a hill for us to ignore. Although that's a reasonably okay hill, but it's not very high, is it really? This one over here, much better. But if we were to just spread them just to the right a little bit, that's a better option. Okay, so those guys are going to do that. What we'll do is we'll have our grenadiers, so our good troops here, they're going to guard the artillery. Now, what we're going to do is do the usual thing that I like to do. I like to spread the troops out across the battlefield. Now, I like to have them sort of in groups of 3 or 4 per regiment, or per brigade. I think it's the brigade. So if we put 3 over on this side, we have no horse on this particular one. Now, he has a little bit of horse, but I'm confident that our guys will be able to square very quickly and deal with any kind of problems that come their way. Now, you've got that regiment there. Let's get this regiment here. These guys here. So that's another set of 4 there. Now, we've got these guys. Let's see. Yep, there's grenadiers all there. That's fine. So, there's one route there, where there's one section here. And then we can come over to here. Take these guys. Along with these guys. Like that, and run them over to the far side to have a good regiment up on the flank. Now, what we'll also then do is we'll keep our general here by the woods, and we'll have this regiment here as reinforcements to assist the general should he run into any problems. Actually, to be honest, I think he's going to be fine because we're up against a small force in comparison. What I am going to do is I'm going to put him on the end there, so that we've literally got 4 regiments, 4 regiments, 4 regiments spread across the entire battlefield. So we've got a good combination of firepower. So that's essentially what we're going to be going for. Let's set the artillery as number 1 and get them unlimbered immediately. But move them up a little bit if we can. See how far we can move them up. There we go. That's as far as we're going to get. So let's enjoy that, see how it goes. If we need to move them, we can. See, this is why I like horse artillery, because I've had a battle on Empire, and I was able to essentially move up the horse artillery very quickly, move them up to a spot where I was outflanking the enemy, and completely caught them by surprise. So that was that's part of the reason why I like the horse artillery. It's only a shame they're not larger in the caliber of their weapons, but as is not to reason why. So we'll get these guys to here, and we'll get these guys to here. We get those guys to run and these guys to run. Now, what we'll do is we'll move these guys up to the woods. We'll move these guys over here, I think up to a wooded area there. And there we go. You can see these guys are taking fire already, so we got to get these guys underway. This is going to be the most dangerous position for the regiments, as they are obviously in a tricky position. They're squared, ready for the cavalry. They're squared, ready for the cavalry. Now, I think what we're going to have to do is you're going to have to unlimber these guys and move them up to about here. Because otherwise they can't see over the brow of the hill. So we've got to move them up to about here, I reckon. And then that will give us a good situation, a much better situation. See, look. These are the guys, and we're walking them. We're not running them, we're walking them. Because we want to keep the guys fresh. Okay, granted, they will take some casualties from that particular section. Let's take these guys out of square, move them up to here, and then put them back in square. So these guys should now all be able to move up to here. And if we run them, you can see the horses move very quickly. Including the poor sods who have to run behind it. You've got to feel sorry for those guys. That's for damn sure. So these guys are still taking some casualties, but we're trying to minimise it by having a good spread of forces make their way up. Now what we will also then do is we'll put these guys up here so that they can continue to move forward. And these guys, are they close to their position? Not yet. So it's going to take a little while before they get to that position. In the meantime, these guys, you can see they're starting to take hits, but they are the grenadiers. But as far as we're concerned, it's going to be difficult for them, as they are essentially going to be taking the brunt of the artillery, which is not going to be easy for them. But they're brave souls, and I have confidence in them. So there we go, the cannons. Let's get these guys up to there. As he pauses to cough again. Right, so those guys are unlimbering. These guys are moving up. These guys are moving up. Let's get them running. Let's get these guys running. Because the idea essentially is if anybody comes anywhere near us with the cavalry, we can then... Oh, wow, they're really bunching up, aren't they? Look at them. They're bunching up in the wooded area. See, he sees the cannonballs coming over the top to my grens. So let's move these boys in further, I think. And these guys here also. You can see they're starting to take some fire, but their morale is still high, which is good. We'll expect that from the grens. These guys can now square. Those guys can also square. So, the artillery currently does not have the range. Just out of the range, you slippery little sods. I'm wondering if it's worth moving them up to here. That could be a better option, because then we could bring firepower down to bear on them. And that could be quite significant. But to be honest, considering the difference in numbers, I'm not sure it's really something we need to worry about. So let's get these guys moving in against these slippery little sods. And what we're going to do is we're going to run those guys. And these guys here, they can walk. No, let's run them into that position. So these guys here, you can see them taking some casualties, unfortunately. Yeah, we've lost about 10 men so far from the bombardment coming in. Now that those guys have moved up, let's take these guys, let's unlimber them, and let's bring them up to here. Now, okay, granted, they will be in range of the enemy, but let's take them out of that, and let's take them out of that. So both these regiments will then move up to here. And then these guys, now unlimbered, let's put them there. And let's get them running. So these guys currently holding their attention. So let's get up, get them holding that attention a little bit more. Let's bring these guys in from the side so that they've got that flanking position. And then these guys here who are running in on the opposite flanking position. Meanwhile, that regiment can run. That regiment can run. So, there's that reg there. We'll put them there. And the other guys, wherever the hell they are the Grens here. We'll put them there. So here are the boys. Moving forward. Oh look, horses. Hello horses. So they're moving up on these guys. So these guys are moving into this position. So let's run them in quickly. You've got these guys over here as well. Let's highlight them and move them up. Now they're in danger, obviously, as you can see here, of being attacked by the Clipty-Clops. But they seem to be ranging towards us here. So we've got to be very, very careful here. We've got to keep an eye out where those horses are going. And I think they're going there. So let's get them into square. Now, here we go. So, what we'll do is we'll take these guys here and we'll stretch them out like that and get them running in so that they can deal with the enemy. So, let's see. Those guys seem to be moving towards us. There we go, they're taking a lot of fire. These guys also firing a lot as well, good. What we might need to do is move these guys up a bit further like that. Take these guys out. So if they're going to be stupid, which is possible, run these guys in a bit further. Move these guys back a bit to look there. Oh, crap. There we go. Put these guys up here. Move those guys to square. As here you can see the Delhi horsemen. Those guys will then just butcher them. See what I mean? And those guys will go to square as well. And that will just... Look at that. Numbers are just dropping like a stone. Absolutely falling through the sky. Falling through the ground, I should say. So, here we can see these guys continuing to hold these guys off. Which is what we're after. The horses just fleeing because they've just been cut to pieces. Lost half their numbers. We've still got horses in the centre here. So, let's see. Are these guys unlimbered? Yeah, they're fine. Oh no, they're not. That's unlimbered. There we go, they're now being attacked. And let's bring these guys in here. Move up. How are these guys doing? They're doing alright. Let's move these guys up a little bit further, I think. Like that. And then we'll move these guys in a bit further as well. Like so. So you see all of these horses here taking massive casualties. Just been taken apart by the squares. I mean, my boys are doing a great job with the squares against the enemy horse. See what I mean? And we'll put them into square as well, just to add supporting firepower.
Victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
So those guys are now going to be engaged. These guys are being seriously engaged. Not sure why they're there. So what we'll do is... We've got nowhere to put them. We'll have to pull them back. So, let's see. Are the cannons firing? Yes, they are. Good boys, cannons. There's the commanding officer, I think. So you can see that some of these regiments have taken casualties from the horses. They've been absolutely jumped on, really, when you think about it. So what we'll do is we'll take these guys here out of square now. Now, where is that general? He seems to be hiding. So, let's bring these guys up. Let's bring them up to here. So, here we go. Let's bring both of those regiments up to deal with them. These 3 regiments will move up to deal with them. We need to deal with that cannon. There we go, the general's fleeing. So. Still haven't killed their general, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a lot of Ottoman revolutionaries in there. Let's go in for a stab fest, I think. And then we'll look in the centre here. Let's stop them there. Get stabbing. We'll bring these guys over. Let's see. Bring them up. Like so. There we go. They've all broken. And we'll bring these guys into one side. What are these guys doing? Let's move these guys in on the flank. And if we follow up, see that artillery is just devastating to us right now. But we are doing a number on them. Where is their RT? Stuck in by the edge of the woods, isn't it? It's over here somewhere. Where are you, little arty? There we go. Get in there and stab them, please, gentlemen. There we go. Go and stab that remainder of that army. Stab the remainder of that one. Let's continue because I want to finish as many of these guys off as I can. I think the game sounds a little bit too loud there. My apologies, everyone. These guys here are doing a number on that lot. Let's see if we can get Kutuzov in. Finish off some people. And
Our
these
men
guys
are running, sir.
can unlimber. Where are these guys running from? Are they? Is that a sudden resurgence of people? Bloody well hope not. That would be a bit cheeky of them, wouldn't it? Send them in. Then take these guys out of square. Put them into melee mode. Bring them up to here. See, we're still chasing those guys down. And these guys over here are still being chased by my boys. So our boys have done well. Come on, lads. Show them the point of your bayonet. No, don't run next to them. Bayonet them, please. Come on. There we go, the Russian Zerg. Get them, boys. Ah, screw it, we can't wait forever. Close victory, yeah, whatever. So, there we have it. We lost 960 men. Not ideal, but we've still got quite a few, and we killed 1,208. Now, how many did they kill? Oh, God. We killed like 400 of our own men. That's never a good thing. So, we'll send these guys back to there, and we'll repair that. So that's going to be it for this week's episode of Napoleon Total War, the Russian campaign. I hope you have all enjoyed, and we shall see you next time for more. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.